Hey everybody, hope you're all doing well this week so far. I must say that it seems like there's a little bit of humor and irony in last week's blog post talking about the hot weather and how hot it was here because by Friday of last week there was a cold front that came through, and so it went from being in the upper 80s until around 60 degrees, which is a pretty drastic change for here. And so, but thankfully, it's looking like it was just a weekend cold front, and so now it's warming back up again. And so I'm looking forward to that because there was at least a couple of nights recently over the weekend where it was pretty cold, and when you don't have any central air AC or heat, it can be pretty cold at night. But thankfully, it's looking like it's going to warm up some. But anyways, I just wanted to start off by sharing an experience I had yesterday. Um, it was a really eye-opening experience and just an experience that went just straight to my heart yesterday. Without going into much detail, because I don't know how much of this situation is true, but that we have heard reports of a place north of here, at least a couple hours away north of here, where there could have been possibly abduction of some school children at a school. And so without going into any further detail, because like I said, I don't really know how much of it is true or not, but anyways, that being said, yesterday, going to school, we came across the military checkpoint that's been on the main highway here in Seguatepec, um, that we have to travel to and from school. We have to go on this highway to and from school. And for about the past month or so, at least the past month, there's been a military checkpoint, which we have always thought that they usually check for drugs because the main highway here in Siguatepec is a main highway in Honduras that they use for drug trafficking from South America to the coast of Honduras and then from Honduras to the United States and elsewhere. Um, but so yesterday we came across the usual checkpoint, and usually the soldiers are they're obviously armed with machine guns and pistols, but usually they're standing just along the checkpoint, along the highway, but they're not really coming too close. But yesterday, as I was sitting there on the bus, and I was right there sitting next to the window, and I noticed one of the soldiers with a pistol on his holstered on his waist, and he walks up near the students, our students that were getting onto the bus, and um, I can't speculate as to what he was doing, but to me it seemed like he was protecting the students and just keeping watch over them because, as I said, he was fairly close and he was making it obvious that his intentions were to get close to them and everyone else that was getting on our school bus. And so um, it really just kind of broke my heart to think, we're we live in a world, and especially in this country now, where children have to be guarded by men with guns. And how sad is that? And I'm thankful that they're there. If that's what they were doing, was protecting the kids, or any other criminal activity that may happen as we're stopped there. Um, but it just kind of broke my heart to think that we live in a world now uh, that has to have this happen. That has to have children protected by guns, and it has to have soldiers have checkpoints to check for drugs and other illegal activity. And it reminded me, and too, I thought, I don't foresee in the near future this happening to the United States, but I thought, who knows, the United States could very well be on track to have something like this happen, where we have to have our children guarded and protected, as we've seen with the school shooting in Connecticut and just other numerous occasions that have happened, or situations that have happened in schools, and it just sort of reminded me of the fallenness of mankind, that we truly are sinful people, and that without the grace and hope and peace of Jesus Christ, we will be surrendered to Satan and his evil ways. And um, so it was just a really eye-opening experience. Even it lasted, just a few minutes, Um, but it truly just spoke to my heart, and it was bothering me most of the day. But God really spoke through a song that I heard last night by David Crowder, and I'll be sure to try and post a link to that up under this blog post, or up under this video. So be sure to check that out. But in the post, or in the song that David Crowder mentions or sings, has Louis Giglio, who is a well-known pastor and speaker, and he mentions the verse in Colossians 1 where it says that all things were created by Jesus and for Jesus, and that in Him all things hold together. And I just felt at peace about that. That yes, we will be living in a place where boys and girls have to be guarded by men with guns. Uh, we'll have people who commit murder and assaults and traffic drugs, traffic human beings, all sorts of things that you can imagine. And all these things will be in our world without the hope of Christ. But with Christ, He holds everything together. And even though there will be things in this world that do not make sense, some of the things that we go through in life will never make sense to us, and we will never understand it. But yet, Jesus holds everything together, and He is in control of everything. And one of my favorite verses is John 16:33, where Jesus tells His disciples that I have come that you may have peace. In this world you will, not you might or maybe, but you will have trouble. But take heart, I have overcome the world. He is bigger than anything we could ever experience and see and hear of in this world. And so I was just reminded of that last night, and I felt a peace about it. So anyways, I just wanted to share that experience with you, because as I said all along, I'm taking you on this journey with me, and we're learning together. We're seeing and hearing things, and so I just wanted to share that experience with you. But excuse me, on to some brighter news. The two of the four classrooms on the first floor of the middle school are now finished. So we are praising God that has been completed. And so now the first floor is halfway finished. And so the students were able to move in yesterday, the 7th and 8th graders, and then that meant that my other 8th grade, that I have a separate group of 8th graders for my English class. We have been meeting in the library, so now we were able to move up into where the 8th graders were meeting in the main building, the main school building. And so I'll be sure to, I'm going to try and see if I can put some pictures of the new middle school classrooms that are finished. I'm going to see if I can put those up under this video. If not, I will post them on my blog at a later time, sometime later this week. But we're just so thankful that we're able to get the 7th and 8th graders into these classrooms and get mine into a regular classroom. And so, but along with that came a little bit of craziness with moving students' desks and teachers' desks and bookshelves and pencils and erasers and all sorts of things from room to room. Well, it's kind of got us needing to find other desks and other supplies, and so it caused a little bit of craziness, but we know that within a couple of days that's all going to get smoothed out. And another craziness that comes with that obviously is when you have students who move to a new room. They're going to be all excited and just a little bit crazy, and so that's been a little hard to deal with, is just them being excited, and we're glad that they were excited, but no, I think I made it a little bit difficult for the teachers, but that's understandable because they're in a different room now, and they're all excited, and it's, as I said, it's something to be excited about. But so it's been a little bit of a crazy week so far, but it's been a good week, and that the ministry is growing, and that's a great problem to have, is to have another room to go to. There's nothing wrong with that, and that just shows how much God has blessed Rhonda and Del Reino Ministries as a whole, being able to grow it and expand it year by year. Uh, and we're just going completely on faith that the rest of the middle school will be finished by this fall. That is a big prayer request, that at least the last two rooms on the first floor will be completed, and by this fall, so that when the ninth grade is introduced, they'll be able to have a new classroom, and start there. And then at some time later on in the future, we'll start the second floor of the middle school. So anyways, just want to say thank you so much for those who've been praying for the middle school. And so we've gotten 2 rooms done, and so at least 2 more to go in the first floor, and then the second floor will be added at a later date. But um, so thank you so much for that prayer request, or your prayers for that request. Also, want to just give you some more prayer requests. Ask you just to pray for my health. I'm still dealing with a bit of chest congestion and coughing at times, and that's the thing I've noticed here, is that with people, they like to burn their trash. That's the way, a lot of the way that they dispose of their trash is by burning it. So between the smoke and car exhaust and dirt and dust that's in the air, once you get a respiratory problem, it's hard to get rid of it. And so I've been hanging on to this for a little over a week, and so I'm hoping that by the end of this week I'll be much better. So just pray that I continue to get better. I'm going to be taking some medicine, and so hopefully I'll be able to get rid of this soon. So um, again, just pray for the kids as a whole, all 250 plus of them. Next week they'll be starting reviewing for exams, which will be the following week after that. So next week will be our review week. It seems like we just had exam week, but we'll be doing that again. And so it'll be their third partial, or their third quarter exams, starting in a couple of weeks. So just be praying for them as they begin reviewing. Pray for the teachers that God will give us wisdom and direction as we give these tests, and just help us to have the patience we need, and just the strength that we need, most of all, to make it through each day. And that God would just continue to teach us and speak to our hearts, even in the middle of changing classrooms and dealing with students and all that stuff, that God would just continue to show us His grace and His peace, even in the middle of craziness. And also just want to ask you just to continue to pray for the ministry as a whole. As I said, hopefully by this fall we'll be introducing ninth grade. They plan on adding a grade each year, and so just pray as the ministry continues to grow that we'll have more God-fearing teachers to come in and just plant seeds of God's truth and His love into the lives of the students, and that the students would be receptive of hearing from God through the teachers, that they would grow up to be the men and women that He wants them to be, and to be leaders for His kingdom. As that's the goal of Destino Del Reino Ministries, is to raise up leaders for God's kingdom. And so, anyways, just want to say thank you so much for your support and prayers. It's been seems like I've only been here, since January. I came back from Christmas break, and it's hard to imagine it's already March. But it's coming, and it'll be here. It'll be over before I know it. And so I'm learning to just enjoy each moment that I can, and before the 3 months is over. And so I know that June will be here before long. And so thank you so much for your prayers and support. And I ask you just to keep checking out my blog. Be sure to check out the pages up at the top there if you haven't already. I've got a photos page, and then I've got a page that talks about my ministry, and then Destino Del Reino Ministries. Be sure to check out my YouTube page. I just added a new video it's an old video, but I just put it. It shows what the Super Bowl was like for me, what watching the Super Bowl was like for me here in Honduras. So be sure to check that out. If you just click on my YouTube page link there, that'll take you to the page, and you'll click on the link there to go to my YouTube page, and you'll see the Super Bowl video, and then lots of other, several other videos that I've posted there. So be sure to check those out. And so again, thank you so much for your prayers and support. And let's go out there and share the love of Jesus this week by whatever we say, think, or do to others. All right, see you guys next time.